Hi, everybody. Ross on the West Ham Network. Hope you are all safe and well. If you're new around here, give it a like, give it a comment, give it a share, give it a bloody good subscribe. Give it a like if you're happy about beating Everton yesterday. Makes Mondays a lot easier, doesn't it? Makes Mondays a lot easier when we West Ham win, that's for sure. I hope everyone is safe and well. Hope everyone had a lovely weekend as well. If you didn't see our coverage yesterday, we did a match day morning, 8:30 in the UK in the morning on Sunday, live from outside the stadium. We had, obviously, Anton doing a great job on the watch along, and then Anton and I joined Anton for the highlight show live from the Supporters Club with Martin Godliman. We had Happy Hammerer, we had Daniela, we had Gatesy, we had Duke, we had the Pearly King of Marlen, the Pearly King of Highgate, and the Pearly Prince of Highgate, all on the show. So go back and check it out. It was a bit of fun, although it did turn a bit blue with Happy Hammerer. But anyway, she'd had a few drinks, let's be honest, and her voice had gone. It's not a bad thing, I suppose. And she pinched my bum, actually. She did actually pinch my bum during the show, but you wouldn't notice because I'm ever the professional. Anyway, let's see. We've got the chat. Good afternoon, Mark. Hope you are well. What we'll do today, obviously, day after games, we always do we do the sort of the debrief. We'll go through what Moyes said at the post-match press conference and some ratings as well. All that good stuff. Scott, good afternoon to you. WH258. Hope you're well. Close game, always away, Brad. But a win's a win, innit? A win's a win. Wally, hope you're well, my friend. Good morning to you, Wally Woo. Don't know where that's come from. Harry, West Ham are massive. They certainly are everywhere we go. Ludders, good afternoon to you. What a blood clot win from Peach, indeed. Win was vital, not just for Lee, but confidence going to the Lyon game. And we'll talk about how Lyon performed yesterday against Angers in the Hammers headlines at 5 o'clock tonight, just so you guys know. Everyone's talking to each other. GP, hope you are well, my friend. Uday, hope you're well. Good evening to you. Needed a cricket. Oh, it would have been nice for a few extra goals, wouldn't it? A few extra goals, but hey-ho. Gazza's in the house. Nice to see. Can I just mark your card for this week? Obviously, we've got the watch-along. No, we're not going to have a watch-along, actually, for the Lyon game, because Anton's going to be there, which is going to be nice. But we've got the preview on Wednesday night, and we'll have hopefully the lunchtime live show for on Thursday will be from outside. Well, we sort of do a sort of a match day morning, but match day lunchtime. So outside the ground for the lunchtime show on Thursday. And hopefully me and Anton will be able to find each other and do the sort of review show live outside the ground after the game. So it'll be all good. And then tomorrow, hopefully, technology permitting, we've got a star from the 1976 1976 Cup Winners' Cup final, and had actually scored in the final and was critical in our run to the final in 1976. Keith Robson, we've got Keith Robson doing a My Hammers 11. So we'll be talking about his time at West Ham. We're talking about obviously the West Ham team now, the parallels between the two teams now, and and get his My Hammers 11 as well, and have some opportunity to answer questions as well. So that should be on tomorrow night, but keep an eye out for it. It's whether Keith can figure out how to work his phone. In all honesty, that's the trouble with like the older players. Unfortunately, actually, it's not. Actually, it's all players. They're just useless in technology, most of them. Right. Let's go for a few. Leon looked bad at set plays. We'll talk about that tonight. Thought Frederick played well yesterday, one error, but some match-making saves. We'll come to Ben Johnson in a minute. Just rest. Always answered it. Great afternoon. Thank you very much. It works. Just got to remember to get up early. That's all. And we can do it. We've got the technology to do it, so we might as well just do it. I think it's fun. And as I said, we'll hopefully do the lunchtime show on Thursday from outside the ground as well to get you all ready for the biggest game. The last game was the biggest game up at London Stadium. This game will be the biggest game at London Stadium. Hopefully, we'll have at least one more game, which is bigger than this game, which will be the next round. So we'll see. Let's talk about what Moyes said in his post-match press conference. As always, we go through just very, very quickly. He was asked happy to win in first game after the break. Obviously, notoriously, we're never good when we come back from a break, but we managed to get a win. He goes, it's never easy when you come back. You're not sure if you've got players fit or available. Everton had problems. We had ours as well with Ben Johnson and Manuel Lanzini. Good 3 points. Could have been cleaner at times with what we've done, but at the time of the season, happy to take the points and move on, which is I think most people have echoed that thing in terms of 3 points, no injuries, no anything else. So let's move on and get ready for Thursday. When did you decide? Let me take off the logos. You can see. When did you decide to start Bowen? And he said only yesterday when I saw Lanzini wasn't going to make it. Lanzini played really well for us. So then it was about to, if we start Jared for 50 or 60 minutes, or bring him on for 30 minutes. He's not quite all there yet. It's not his fitness, but we was a bit worried. We just chose to start with him. It worked out well. I was never really worried about Jared. He said he didn't know if he was sharp enough, but he has such high standards. He might have been called up for England in the last great, but he was unfortunate to get injured. If he finishes the season well, he'll be back in contention for those games in June. Obviously, England play a number of friendlies in June, I believe, in preparation for Qatar. Sets up getting back into the top 6 because there was pressure on today's game. It was a big game for Everton as well. We've got a huge game today, and in my mind, a huge game in midweek as well with Premier Leagues. After that are really important to us. We weren't as slick or as good, but it was a good performance to win the game indeed. 4 home wins in a row, a nice way to set up for Thursday. It does. We are looking really good to it. Looking forward to it. It's a huge moment for us in the club as well. Hopefully we can do it. We will need to play well and get the players ready if we can and be in the best form we can be for Thursday. Difficult not to be distracted a little. He goes, if you want to be a big club and challenge, you've got to be able to do it. Top players do it with their preparation, their recovery, how they sleep. Look at the top players now from Man City, Liverpool in big games all the time. Those players have to prepare. We have quite a tight squad and been at it most of the year. I'm trying to take it a game at a time, focus on it, and hope we can get on the right end of it. Being back in the European bracket, back in the fight, shows in the main we've had a consistent season. And he asked about Cresswell. He played much better before. He played much better before his back injury. He was in top form until mid-November. Then that happened and there were signs he was getting a little back to it. It's taken a while. We were trying to work out how many free kicks he has taken before he scored one. I guess 625. We don't know exactly. But he provided great assists from corners and wide free kicks. But I don't remember him scoring many from a direct free kick. Everton have a top goalkeeper, so to get it over the wall and in was really good. Asked about set pieces today, he said everyone can find out we're good from corners, not good. And everybody can find out who's good from corners, not good from corners. Makes no sense, boys. People ask if we practice a lot of stuff. No, but it's become relevant in the game. We're not daft. We look to see what the opposition do. We look at what we do. We need people who are technically gifted to get it up and down over the wall. We've not had many in my time. I can't think of any in my time that have been scored. 2.5 years ago, maybe. Cresswell has the ability with it, but we'll never hear the end of it. The boys will give him a lot of stick. He's very popular. Asked about Ben Johnson. He said he felt his hamstring playing for England on Wednesday night. He trained Friday and Saturday, but felt it again Saturday. We don't think it was bad, but it was a decision today. We did not want him for other weeks. I'm hoping he'll be okay. Proposed change that if Big Six win FA Cup, they will get into the Champions League, but not clubs outside the Big Six. He goes, I worked for UEFA, did a lot of stuff for them, but I don't agree with the format or previously awarding big teams. We talk about being inclusive in football. That means gives all the teams the opportunity to get there. If a smaller side won it, we'd expect to be treated the same way. I don't agree with that. Maybe if I was a top 6 regular, what would I want? I don't think some people see that as a correct format. It should be on merit, and I totally agree, Mr. Moyes. Speaking about Lyon, he'll be starting preparing. He goes, they're a very good team. We know about them, what they're capable, but our focus today was Everton. We'll start to work towards Lyon as we move forward now. And that was it, really. It was pretty matter of fact, to be honest. Let's have a quick look, see what we've got here. Why did it take us a goal to give us a kick up the arse? Agreed. Frank Butcher said, you're walking from Upton Park to Lyon. Good on you, Russ. Do you need to borrow No, I'm not walking to Lyon, no. Barcelona beat Seville yesterday. Well, so did we. So there we go. Afternoon, Luke. Hope you are well. Adam, hope you are well. Everton were awful. Iwobi, yeah, it was appalling, weren't they? Everyone's talking to each other. DCL and Richarlison, quality players, played and looked like they already had their heads on them. But the whole team, they just were so disjointed, weren't they, Everton? Really disjointed. I can understand Rush much better than Moyes. Well, I bloody well hope so. Richarlison's quality, but makes Arnie look easy to manage. Yeah, I think that's by all accounts, my friend. Right, let's go for the ratings. So what we do, we obviously see what Mr. Moyes in the post-match press conference, and I like to give my ratings. Now, the idea is, just like ourselves, we've all got opinions and we like to use them. So if you agree with me, great. If you don't, yeah, fair enough. It's your prerogative. So let's start. So there's the squads that we had yesterday. So we'll start with Fabianski. Didn't really have nothing to do in the first half, let's be honest. Did we do much first half? I think he punched, quite weakly from that corner, which led to the goal, which led to the equaliser. He claimed well, okay. Wasn't expected. We probably expected him. He would have probably expected himself better to have done more of that punch rather than it was sort of skew-whiffed it a little bit. But it wasn't really called on really much at all, to be fair, was he? I put him down as a 6. Sharky's put a 6. Fabianski, Fab 6 for Ludders, 6, 5, a 6. Hi people, do we all see how long Moyes was talking to Pickford after the game? Thought he might pick up. Oh, hopefully not. 5 for GP, 6 for WHU 58. So yeah, similars. Adam's gone 6 and Stewart's gone 6. So that's what we've gone so far. So we've got a Fabianski in there for a 6. And let's move on to Ryan Fredericks. Obviously one of 3 changes to the starting 11. And based on Ben Johnson's, whether he's going to be... hopefully by all accounts, Johnson just seems like he just felt his hamstring. But, obviously... I thought Fredericks played very well for Fredericks. Probably his best game as a right back for us, I think. For maybe forever, if not a while. Obviously, Soufal back on the bench, which will be good. So we'll see what happens on Thursday, rather, dependent on whether what's his face, Ben Johnson's going to be fit or not. I can't see them. Fredericks has got the pace, but Soufal's defensively stronger. I don't know. He denied Richarlison the opening goal. As Pete said, a lot of times he sort of got in the way of the last ball. He cut out Iwobi's pass as well. There was one where he almost trapped the ball and gave it to Richarlison in the first half, I think it was, just before the break. And Richarlison did a really crap shot. So that was the only blemish, I think, in terms of a very, very good performance. What we got in the chat, we got Fredericks 11, of course, Wally. 7, 7, 6, 6, 7, 9, 8 from Gaza, 9 from Peach, 7. Decent game, 7 from James. 8 from Luke, 6 plus 5 from Wally. Yeah, 6 plus 5, exactly. Given a 7, he did. Looks a bit clueless, unfortunately. I think, I know what you mean. He seems a little bit like doesn't know what he's doing, but surely he does. But I know what you mean. Just the way he sort of conducts himself on the pitch a little bit. We've got an 8. Would have been 9, 7, 8, 7s. I've gone with a 7, which I think is probably about average for everyone. So that's what we're on now. So we've got Fabianski and Fredericks on a 7. Always lose players when we need them. Much of the curse, indeed. And actually, saying that, I was thinking about today with the fact that Soufal's back, Bowen's back. If Ben Johnson's fit, and by the end of the month, they do say Oggy could be back in contention. So touch wood, we would have a fully fit squad for the last month. Mental. What a good understatement. He is. But if you watch the Hammers headlines on Friday, there was talk of him and Yama going, with Ashby and Perkins being more promoted into their positions for next season, potentially. Thanks, Sharky. I do try. We do try here. All right, let's go for Dawson. I think he kept DCL quite quiet for most of the day while he was on the pitch, and did very, very little wrong. I thought it was an assured performance by Mr. Dawson, the £2 million signing from Watford. I thought he played really well, Dawson. To me, he just epitomises this team. He always puts in a shift, and when he's consistent because when he makes a mistake, it does stand out a little bit. Right, we've got sevens. Yes, Russ, but fatigued. Everyone's fatigued. I think to be honest, Ludders at the moment. No, I think I was listening to Charlie Austin or someone like that on TalkSport, and he goes, "Oh, are you back to 100% fit?" He goes, "No, you're never 100% all season. The only time you're 100% is probably when you come back from pre-season. That's the only time you haven't got an injury or you're carrying something. So it's what it is." Big Doors 7 from Just Brad, 8 from Adam, 7 from Mark, 8 from Ludders. Virgil Van Dawson gets an 8 from Sharky. Jenkins 8, sevens. Uday 7. Dawson outclassed Keane. Oh, he did. Well, yeah, Keane was rubbish, wasn't it? 7. Who'd have thought Dawson would have worked out? Davy Moyes. 7s. In my opinion, defender can't get higher than 7 if they can't concede. So you're right, Just Brad. And that's my sort of feeling behind it usually. Centre-backs, their job is to not concede. And same as a goalkeeper, really. So, if you concede, then you're not really doing your job. You might score at the other end, but I totally agree. Some lovely crossfield passes as well from Craig Dawson again. Exactly. So we got 8s. If Dawson wasn't a footballer, he would be an M&A fighter. Fair play. Yeah, I like it. I put him down for a 7. So that's what we're up to now. We've got Fab 6, 7 for Frederick, 7 for Dawson. Next up, we got Mr. Zuma. Quite a game, I thought it was for him. You can tell so he was quieter because there was less booing, so he was obviously playing with the ball less for the Everton fans to boo him. A couple of times he sort of got involved a little bit. But I think, to be honest, as I was saying to Anton yesterday, I think him and Dawes pretty much nullified that sort of quite disjointed Everton attack, in all honesty. So, do you know what I mean? He just didn't seem to have it. The team itself they didn't really come up against anything sort of domineering. And I thought CDL was quite quiet. Richarlison had moments, but from a centre back pairing, I thought they were very dominant. Zuma's 7, 6, 7 from Ludders, 6. Nothing wrong. Nothing to shout about. 7, 6. Still played all right, but Dawson was the better centre. I think with Zuma, he's still not playing his position, because we haven't got that left side. I think you'd see Zuma always seems a little bit out sorts when he plays on that left-hand side a little bit. The way he seems a bit lackadaisical that's a long word, lackadaisical on the ball a little bit. I think on the right side, that's his preferred position, but he's doing a job there for us. 9, 7, 7, 7s. More meow than a roar. 7, 7s, 8, 7s. Too quiet, need a few dirty challenges. He doesn't challenge that. That's the thing about Zuma. You look at his tackling stats. He leaves that up to Dawson, or Diop, or Gbona. He's not the tackler. Always commanding, cat-like reflexes, comfortable as usual. I put him down for a 6 because I thought it was a quiet game for him. So that's what we're up to now. Dawson, we've got Zuma on a 7. Let's talk about the man with the magic hat. Aaron Cresswell, obviously a phenomenal game for him, I thought. Great free kick in the sort of first half. I thought he was unlucky with the second half. He almost got a similar one at the second half. I thought he was very comfortable in defence. I thought he seemed revitalised. I feel a number of the teams seemed a bit more revitalised, in all honesty. And I thought he epitomised it. That sort of, sometimes those breaks just help you, don't they? What we got here, what's Harley said? Burnley, Brighton, Norwich are 4 of our last opponents. 3, 6, 9, 12 points. 9 and 8. What a free kick. 9 man of the match. 9. 3 of the last goals conceded have been deflected. How can you stop them? Bit unfair. Well, that just shows you sometimes you're just not. It's rubber of the green, isn't it? We just haven't had the rubber of the green. He said that goal was deflected, but if Fab had punched it a bit better, he would have been in that position. 10 just for the free kick. 9. Don't deserve 9 because they still conceded the goal. The free kick took him to a 7 or 8. 9, 10. Dimitri Cresswell. 9, 8, 9. Adam's gone 8. WH's gone 8. Sharky's gone 8. Would have been a 9, but take one off for that tackle at the end. Yeah, good point, actually. Yeah. That sort of tackle and I don't think he meant to kick that ball at all. But I put him down for an 8. I put down for 8, and actually I made him man of the match. My man of the match. So that probably alludes to what the scores are for the others. But anyway, Declan Rice. Declan Rice. To be honest, there's been a couple of times he gave the ball away, didn't he? Did you just notice that, particularly in the second half? But apart from that, I thought he was solid. Just a solid performance. He didn't really have any, that midfield was so weird. You had Alex Iwobi, you had Holgate, you did have central midfielders in there. And if anything, I thought that him and Souček may have dominated a little bit more in that. But Iwobi had a lot of the ball, which was good because he basically gave it to us and set up loads of goals for us. But I thought they may have had a little bit more, to be honest, but that's just me. What we got here? Harley 7. Hi Pete, hope you're well. 8. Why isn't being recalled? Too old, mate. 32 now, isn't he? Nah, too old, unfortunately now. Unless they play 3 at the back and he plays left sided, but I don't think they will do it for that. Harley 8. Rice 7. Brad 7. Cross Hammers 7. Rice 6. Russ, I like the way you present these videos. You are such a softly spoken guy. Thank you so much. It's all for the ASMR audience, who I appreciate it. If you like it, give it a like so we know you enjoy it. 8. Tired game but solid. And also, he played internationals, didn't he? So I think you can distinctly see the guys who played international and the guys didn't play internationals just by their energy levels. I think if you went through the team, anyone who did play internationals seemed a little bit like they've played the internationals. And I think, Rice and Souček particularly. Rice 8, quiet one, but still a 7. Exactly, even a quiet game for Declan Rice is a 7. 7s. You always play players out of their best places. That's why we're biggest was. Yes, very true. Rice by studs, very average. 7s. 7s, 6 7s. 7s. Love your top mate. Yep, from Kaz Pennant. Old school. Check out Old School. That's his brand. It's very, very good. Yep. If only we can play like that every game. Well, yeah. Was great after yesterday's. Yeah, it was. 7. Can't expect anything less. Indeed, up and down for a 7. There we go. That's what we're up to now. Rice on a 7. Let's go to talk to his midfield partner, Thomas Souček. An uneventful game. I don't really remember him giving the ball away too much. I don't remember him necessarily being particularly high up in possession. I think it was average. He had an average game. Sometimes not coming. He didn't seem to give the ball away. He seemed to do the basics quite well. Wasn't really too much to write home about, I think. In all honesty, I just don't think there was. I think he played an okay game, did the job. Sharky's gone 7. 7! Adam's gone 6. 7 from Ludders. 7s. 7 from Gaza. 6 didn't necessarily. His work hard goes unnoticed. No, he does. That's what I mean. It was one of those games where he was part of the puzzle. And if you weren't there, you would have noticed it. If that makes sense. Average 7, 6, 7 difficult. The midfield was all over the place. Yeah, you're right. That's the flip side. Is their midfield was all over the place. So there wasn't that battle, because I think we would have smashed them in that battle. And also, Van der Beek literally being injured in the warm up. That sort of curtailed that battle, because then Holgate goes in there, who's not a CDM. I think if they had Decore and they'd have and Van der Beek in the midfield, would be a more of a battle, if that makes sense. Being a bit quiet. I know yesterday would have been perfect if they lost. Indeed, 6. I put him down for a 7. 7? Yeah, 7. Yeah, I put him down for 7 because I thought he did. I thought he did a job. He did a job. Always great player. Yeah, when he always puts a shift in, doesn't he? Pablo Fornals, the fornicator. Let's talk about Pablo. Obviously, he had the game's first block shot. Obviously, Michael Keane got involved in that one. It was unfortunate in terms of the deflected shot for Holgate. But obviously, he couldn't really do anything. Just literally hit him. obviously played the pass to Antonio in the lead up to the second goal. Obviously he had a little booking for time wasting thing in added time, but I thought again he's just growing to become a West Ham fan favourite, and I just think his enthusiasm. I was reading an article today. He wants to stay at West Ham for life. There we go. But I just thought he was solid again. Runs and runs. He is the Duracell bunny, and he really is. 6, 7. Loved his energy and movement. Yeah, the Everton faces when they got the second. Indeed, the fans. 6, 7. 7 works hard box to box. 7, 7s. 6 in growing toenails, didn't seen himself. There we go. All right, fair enough. 7, 6, but 7 for that pass. Good energy. I mean, he has his energy, which again, it's like very similar to sort of Tommy Souček. Souček had one of those games where didn't really do anything outstanding, but didn't do anything bad. He just had a good game, a solid game. And I think Fornals always has a solid game. If you had that extra 5%, it would be a world beater first pass. I totally agree. He's got the energy levels. It's just it's like at school, you get the effort, A for effort, and then you get the 1 to 5 on aptitude. And he's on like a 4. He's like an A4, but that extra 5%, it'd be A5 and it'd be absolutely brilliant. So I've put him down for a 7. So far we've got that's so far bought Fornals on the 7. Let's go over Benny Boy. I mean, to be honest, I thought Benny, as an all-round game, one of his strongest games for us as an all-round game. Not just. I mean, he in terms of going forward, I thought he did okay. Obviously, he does lose the ball quite a bit because he's trying things. But I noticed a real energy level on him getting back. There was in the first half, I think, particularly, he'd lost the ball. So, but he almost felt, right, I've got to go and win it back. And he sprinted back, and he ended up playing like right back, and then he quickly, and I think, he put his energy in, the crowd clapped, and then I saw Bowen like clapping and shook his hand just for that level of energy. He is trying to mould himself into a Moyes player, isn't it? You can see that. And yesterday, I really felt that. Sharky's gone 6, GP 7. Gaz has gone 7.5. No half points in this game, I told you. Was it an own goal by Fornals? Well, it was a deflected shot. It was on target, so I think it will go to Holgate. 6 always takes too long to make a decision. 6 frustrates me. Benny 7, better performance, Benny. How he was tracking back, indeed. Very quiet game to his standards. I think he was trying to do more defensive work as well, I think, Pat Holland, to be honest. He definitely has the ability. We don't talk about Benny, 7 out in possession, 5 in. Needs to do it in both halves, 6, 7. I agree, Russ, he tracked back a lot more. It definitely was. There was a definite marked improvement in his defensive work. But then that's not him. That's the thing that frustrates me as well, is that's not what he does. I know. And I think that sometimes that's why there's this sort of some fans love him, some fans hate him, and a performance like yesterday, I thought actually he's having a go. We can't criticise him when he's having a go. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Do not let Benny go. We need him. No, I think I don't know, man. I think we need his creativity, and I think he's trying to adapt himself. That to me wasn't a performance of someone who wants to go. If that makes sense. 7. A few times he wimped out 50, but that's him. He's not a 50-50 man, is he? So I know Duke said it the other day. He's not that type of player. So, but then he tried it. He does get stuck in when he wants to. Benny 8 from Fresh Fielder, 7s. Gaza 7s. Huge kudos to players who are playing international league and cup, hardest working team in the Premier League. He must be. For his own sake, he needs to move on. For his creativity, for him as a player, maybe, but for him, I think there is still a way he could fit in the West Ham model, the Moyes model. And he's trying. Swipe him down for a 7. Because I thought he tried very bloody hard yesterday. So, yeah, if they lost the ball, why not retrieve it? Indeed, and that's what he did. Simples. So let's talk about Jared, obviously coming back from injury. I didn't think there was any signs of ring rust at all, considering he's been off for a month. on the sideline. Obviously, won the free kick that led to Cress's goal. And actually, if you go back and watch his goal in terms of how he can, when it was an empty net, it wasn't just an empty net. It wasn't just an empty. Actually, I thought he was. There was. He just had to slightly chip it just to evade anyone coming running in. It was very, very good. I thought it was a very good goal. It wasn't just a tap-in. Obviously, he went off with 20 minutes to go. Mark came on, great. One Boreal keeping him fresh, or giving him enough of a run out today to get it through his legs, get the old weather through his legs, get warmed up, and then all ready for Lyon. I'm hoping. Let's see. Bowen 8, Bowen is Superman 8, 9, 8, 8. Better team with him. Welcome back. He is. It's that outlet, isn't it? I mean, if you think about the goal that he scored, maybe Fornals potentially would be running alongside Antonio looking for that, but usually it's Antonio on his own, to be honest. What we got here, 8 7s, but what a 7 are we back to his best? Do you know? I'm in your camp. 8s, sign of a good player, making an impact after a stint away. Peach has gone 8. I've gone for a 7. Just not. Although he didn't show ring rust, there was whether it was hesitation, maybe potentially because of the injury. I don't know. Just wasn't as. He's probably in like. If sixth gear was how he was before he got injured, he's probably about 4 going into the 5th gear. So I don't care as long as that's ready for as long as he's 5th gear by Thursday. That's all I care about. Right, let's talk about Bruno. No, let's talk about Michael Antonio. No. So. We talk about people who've been revitalised. So, Cresswell came in. I thought Cresswell looked revitalised. I thought the centre-back pairing looked good. I thought Bowen looked good. And then I thought this man looked revitalised. He is a battering ram. Let's be honest. How many times he gets... I didn't do the maths, but he gets fouled and knocked about literally every minute of the game. Every time he has the ball, he'll be knocked off it. Or he'll be challenged, and he doesn't get a lot of easy passes to his feet. He obviously had that shot blocked, 10 minutes in, where he found and then he sort of jinked it past Pickford, took it a little bit too far, hit the side netting, obviously set up the goal, his shot set up the goal, and his positioning was a lot better, I thought. He definitely gave them, Keane got sent off, mainly because of his handling of Mikel Antonio. He couldn't handle him. Desperately needs to be, but more importantly, don't let him do interviews. Oh, you're talking about Bowen, yeah. Antonio, 8s, 9s, 7s. Who has nicked his shooting boots? I don't think he's ever really had any shooting boots, to be honest. In all honesty, I don't think. We know he's not a striker, but he's a focal forward. That's what I'm going to call him, a focus forward or focal forward. 7s, 8s, 7s, 7. We've had no half points in this game. Crosshammer. Give Antonio an 8. He caused a lot of problems. He needs a goal. He does. 7, 8. Ran himself into the ground. What a shift. Refs don't give him protection. I think because he's so bulky, he doesn't, I think he gives as good as he gets. I think that's what the referees see, unfortunately. We're actually a few more. I think there's a lot more fouls that he draws which don't become fouls, don't get recognised because he's so bulky and he sort of almost knocks them off. 8, every game he doesn't score, my heart breaks a bit more. Antonio equals Rand 0 to 9. For those of you who don't know, that's Excel format to put in a random number because it can be a 9, it can be a 0, it can be a 2, depends what time of the game you're looking at it. Right, 7.5. No half points in this game. Antonio will come good. 8s. Antonio's like Heskey in a way. It's not just the goals, but that is a brilliant way of explaining it, GP. Heskey, look at Heskey, particularly England, when he was such a focal point, but Rooney got the goals. Heskey would score occasionally, but wouldn't score very often. But he'll be picked by the manager all the time because of the role he made. That is Mikel Antonio. That's the role he makes. How many times that he'll have a shot and the goalkeeper parries it, and then there's the follow up, or he'll set it up and he'll hold it, and then give it to an ongoing runner. He sets up a lot of goals and a lot of opportunities, and he draws more players in. I like this. Like I always loved Andy Carroll when he played, because as a focal point, he'd always have at least two defenders on him, whether one's going for the header and one's hanging back for the block, the knockdown, or they're both trying to challenge. There'll always be space around him, and that's what's crucial with Antonio. 100%, says Peach. There we go. So I put Antonio for a 7, because I thought he played a good game. Not worthy an 8 because he's a forward and he didn't score. And that's the truth. Noble quickly, obviously came on 70 minutes, obviously added a bit more meat to the midfield. They had less space to exploit, really. Obviously came on for Bowen. I only put him down for 5 because he didn't really play, it's only 20 minutes really. And Yarmolenko, I didn't give a score because he only really came on for the last couple of minutes. And to be honest, he came on as a right back, really, in all honesty. He was ended up playing right back. I was really impressed by their left back, Milenko. It's not Milenkovic, but Milenko. I thought he was really good. And if Everton go down, we need a left back. I think he was very good. And he was very clever. There was one point in the second half where he was going to challenge. I think it was Antonio, when Keane got sent off. He sort of did that, and he was going to go and challenge. And the last second, he thought, "I'm not going to win this," and dropped back, and it literally just took the knock on from Antonio. And I thought, that's bloody clever. Nobes, 5s. I did a job. I mean, I didn't really. But just hoping Arsenal drop points tonight. That'd be lovely, wouldn't it? 5s. What we got here? 7s. There we go. 7s. Prefer our left back. Yeah, no, but our left back's 32. So there we go. We need to improve our game management. We gave the ball away too many times. Yep, definitely truth. We've never been able to kill off a game, have we? That wasn't a 2-1 game yesterday. That was a 3-1, 4-1 game in terms of what we were doing. Odds on Bowen going to World Cup 8%. I think so. And we know, Southgate's mentioned in his when he announced the squad for the last couple of internationals for the Switzerland and the Ivory Coast games, how if he was in the squad, if he was fit, he would have been basically in the squad. There's no denying he's on fire. Well, he was on fire until his injury. It's just typical. He was on fire and there was no England call-ups for like 3 or 4 months. And then he gets injured probably about a week before he gets named, unfortunately. But that's just the way it goes. Naturally, if it means that he's had a rest and he's recovered and he's firing on all cylinders, he'll want to work doubly hard to make sure he's in those squads for June. That's for sure. Good Bowen got me. Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people thought he was going to start on the bench and come on, and when he started, it was like, oh, okay, but we trust him always, don't we? We don't score enough goals, but then when we don't, we never do, lads, do we? Yesterday, we should have killed that game off. Proper striker. I think even Calvert-Lewin in a lot of those positions would have scored. We need to keep Yarma. We'll be without club. Give him a chance. Would not still be in Europe. Very true. It was limping by the end, a bit worrying. I think he always limps at the end of a game. He always does limp at the end of a game. There's a few of them always limp. I think he was a bit stiff. Don't forget, after he's played, he's then sat down for 20 minutes. He hasn't played for a month, so maybe a little bit stiff. But he seems. I mean, there was no one mentioned that in the post-match press conference or anything like that. So we see Rice, Bone, and Lingard for England. Who knows? All West Ham needs to do is some ruthlessness to finish these games off in a non-bum clenching way. But part of us like that. Will Lanzini won't be playing because he's suspended, so he won't be in the squad. Lads, he's got 2 yellow cards, so he won't be in the first round. First leg, he'll be back for the second leg. Ben Johnson could be, but all accounts he felt his ham, as we said in the post-match press conference, he felt his hamstring, so we'll see. But I mean, with Soufal back in, Fredericks, maybe the boy Ashby on the bench then, who knows? would have been on the bench if he hadn't had the accident. He would have been, yeah. So I think, as he said, Moyes picked Bowen in the last minute, very, very sort of late on, which made sense. If you look at the midfield three, those sort of top three, it was Ben Rama, Bowen, and Sufa and Fornals. Usually you'd have Lanzini probably in there, and maybe Bowen would have been on the bench, but actually it may have worked out for the better. Thursday can't come quick enough. Muscular six for his Carmine influence in the team. Decision making is definitely getting better. Totally, man. Sorry, I forgot. There we go. Rice, best not get his. He'll need one next week. Now, I don't know. I think it all stops. I don't know. Don't quote me. But there's a certain point where they take the from the group stages away. I don't know. I don't know. But I'm sure that was the issue. But we'll see. Once again, Benny, Fornals, Antonio need more finish. Everyone needs finishing practice. We know that. As I said, in terms of what we've got coming up today, we've got the Hammers headlines coming up tonight at 5 p.m. We'll be talking about Ben Johnson's contract status. We'll be talking about, obviously, Fabianski's contract status. We'll be talking about Lyon, how they fared yesterday in their league game. And their sort of tune up for Thursday, and also a potential signing. As always, every week we can do it. Every day we do a potential signing. Hopefully on tomorrow night, 8 p.m, 9 p.m. rather, we'll have Keith Robson. Obviously, finalist in the Champions League, in the European Cup Winners' Cup final in 1976 to Anderlecht, which we lost 4-2, but he scored in the final, as well as scoring in I think he scored in the Eintracht Frankfurt and round, and very, very interesting man. Very interesting man. We'll talk about his time at West Ham, all that type of stuff. He'll put his 11 together, and that's if he can figure out how to work the internet. So there we go, which happens, unfortunately. Yellows and white for I thought so. There'll be some new checkout tonight, 5 p.m, in terms of how they got on yesterday. And we have been doing a few injury up, in terms of their suspensions, and, the fact they've got Tete now. We did a thing on Friday lunchtime show was about the loophole where they signed Tete from Shakhtar Donetsk, and he'll be probably playing on Thursday rather, and scored yesterday's debut. There we go. We need an Andy Carroll. He would have done a job indeed. Looked good going forward. Defensive, not so good. Yeah. Greatest moustache in West Ham history? ? Ooh, Phil Parkesdale would surely be up there, wouldn't he? I'd think so. Maybe. It's a good moustache though, isn't it? But it'll be good. Anyway, peeps, as I said, if you're new around here, give it a like, give it a comment, give it a share, give it a bloody good subscribe. Give it a like if you're psyched about Thursday. If you're not psyched about Thursday, don't give it a like. But then you'll be a madman or a mad woman, because we're all excited about Thursday. It'd be fantastic. And as I said, maybe become a channel member. There's a channel member button there. We're going to be doing our first members monthly draw this week, actually. First members monthly draw will be this week. So if you want to be in with a chance of winning a West Ham signed shirt, sign up to be a member now. It's almost like a raffle ticket, basically. And then we have them every month from now on. So say thank you to you guys for subscribing to us and for becoming a channel member. And also we'll be doing the draw for the Irons Food Bank shirt as well. We'll need to do that as well, because for everyone who donated to the Irons Food Bank's Easter egg appeal as well. So anyway, guys, I hope you have a great rest of the day. Take care, stay safe, stay lucky, stay cheeky, and I'll see you very, very soon. Take care, my friends. Ciao, ciao for now.
It's like a family tree.